Well, how many of the drivers passing behind me right now do you think would admit that they've used one of these behind the wheel? Well, new numbers suggest that it's actually just over 50%. And that is raising the alarm for more to be done about distracted driving.
We're telling people that it needs to be as socially unacceptable as drinking and driving.
Over the past year, the number of Canadians who admit to some form of distracted driving has spiked. Despite that same survey finding that behavior was considered nearly as risky as impaired driving, 32% to 35%. Still, that hasn't stopped most drivers from pointing the finger elsewhere.
93% of them say they never or rarely drive distracted, but then 84% of them say that they always or often see other people driving distracted. So essentially, it's not me, it's you.
And while smartphones are still seen as the most common distraction, they're far from the only thing fighting for your attention behind the wheel.
So if you're driving by an accident on the road, that distracts you. When it comes to changing the infotainment systems on vehicles, that also distracts you.
Distracted driving fines have generally increased, ranging anywhere from $170 in New Brunswick to $615 for a first offence in Ontario, the stiffest penalty in Canada. Every province also docks a minimum of 3 demerit points. But even then, many drivers say the hit to their pocketbook isn't what would make them put down the phone.
When we ask people that question, what's going to stop you from driving distracted, 43% said a motor vehicle collision. And that should be alarming to any road user because we're talking about injuries, we're talking about fatalities that are preventable.
One tool being rolled out in parts of the country is an app that monitors phone usage behind the wheel in assessing insurance rates, higher or lower. But in the interim, insurers admit education is still their primary tool to get people to keep both hands on the wheel.
Especially if you see a friend or family who's driving distracted, encourage them not to do so and stress the importance of why it's important to not drive distracted.
In Edmonton, Cordy Terrio, City News.